Good evening. I'm Jacob Pence, the principal at Banks High School. On behalf of Banks High School and Banks School District, I want to welcome all of you to the 100th Annual Graduation Commencement Ceremony. This has been a pretty wild school year. Rain seems to fit right with that theme, so I'm glad all of you are here braving the weather. Again, tonight marks 100 years of important celebrations for students of this community. Tonight, I'm excited that we can be here in person to celebrate, together with the accomplishments of the class of 2021. Tonight's ceremony marks an important milestone for these students, our school, and our community. Especially after a year like this past year, I can't think of a better reason to come together as a community and celebrate. I want to personally thank all of you for being here. At this time, I'd like to invite Aubrey Markham, Banks High School senior, to join us on the stage to sing our national anthem. Would you all please stand and remove your hats?
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Thank you, Aubrey. Joining me on the stage this evening are Mr. Jeff Leo, the Banks School District Superintendent, and Ron Frame, Banks School Board Member. Students, tonight is all about you. We want to recognize your efforts and accomplishments. I want to be the first to congratulate each of you for meeting the requirements needed to graduate with a diploma from Banks High School. Each of these students have all completed at least 24 credits in required subjects as outlined by the State of Oregon and Banks School District. I'd like to take a little bit of time to say a few words about the class of 2021. There are a lot of strong personalities and amazing students in this class. They're a well-rounded group of individuals with diverse skills and interests. They're creative, artistic, athletic, motivated, and they're big. This is one of the largest classes to graduate from Banks High School in its 100-year history. They're resilient. They have a strong sense of school and community pride, and they're not afraid to speak up, sometimes to the point of frustration for their teachers over the years. They're funny and fun-loving, and they're caring. Many of them have taken on service projects and volunteer opportunities throughout high school that have made our school and community a better place for all where we live. If you guys could do something about the rain, it'd be great. It's been an honor and a privilege to work with this group of young people over the past 4 years. The class of 2021 has many impressive accomplishments that I would like to recognize. 4 graduates are graduating early at the end of their junior year. "24 graduates have met the requirements for the honors diploma. 14 graduates have received dual enrollment cords from PCC for accumulating at least 9 college credits through Portland Community College. 19 students received cords for their participation in National Honor Society. We have 2 salutatorians, and 9 students have earned the honor of being recognized as valedictorians for the class of 2021. And to date, this year's class has amassed hundreds of thousands of dollars in college scholarships. This group has had an impressive 4 years in extracurricular activities. Many of these students were instrumental in restarting our school drama club, and they performed in several shows. This group of seniors has had several members of the robotics team that has earned awards and berths to the state championship competition several times during their high school career. Several of these students have competed at musical festivals and competitions across the Northwest, showcasing their choir and band musicianship. And our leadership and National Honor Society clubs have participated in several events that support and benefit our school and community. These seniors have logged over 1,140 hours of community service during their time at Banks High School. Many of these graduates have been on athletic teams that have earned league championships and state playoff appearances in football, volleyball, soccer, basketball, wrestling, track, softball, baseball, and golf. Several have been recognized as all-league and all-state for their accomplishments. This is a little bit different type of year, but this year's athletic team accomplishments include a 5th place finish in football with their only loss to the eventual state champion team, a state semifinals appearance for softball and baseball, and several individuals competed at the state track meet, a 3rd place state finish in golf, the highest in program history. And the basketball and wrestling teams are still finishing their seasons and doing very well. When these students were sophomores and even juniors, I know this isn't how they imagined their senior year and high school experience ending. Despite the crazy year and a half that we've all had, these students have adapted and overcome many challenging obstacles. They've had to learn through new methods of teaching and learning, dealing with the lack of interaction with peers and teachers, and completing school remotely for an entire year. Despite all of this, they have persevered. They have shown grit, determination, resiliency, flexibility, and grace. In life, things will not always go as we plan. It won't be perfect. There are going to be things that are outside of your control. These students have demonstrated that they will not only survive, they will thrive, no matter what life throws at them. We should all be very proud of this group of young people and students. You should all be very proud of yourselves. And students, as you leave Banks High School as graduates, remember this is not the end. It's the beginning of your journey. As you go on to the next chapter of your lives, remember the lessons you've learned and take the friendships and positive memories that you've had here at Banks High School. Congratulations, you have all made us very proud these past 4 years, and I know you will continue to do so. After tonight, these students will be entering the workforce, joining branches of military service, and attending colleges and some very prestigious universities. Congratulations on your accomplishments, and good luck to you all in your futures. 6 of our 9 valedictorians have chosen to speak on behalf of their class this evening. Those students are Cade Buchanan, Joseph Baliga, Margaret Clark, Catherine Haley, William Jones, and Tristan Safon Seychow. At this time, Cade Buchanan, will you please join us on the stage?
Good evening and welcome family, friends, teachers, staff, and most importantly, the 100th graduating class of Banks High School, the class of 2021. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be able to share this special day with all of you in attendance, especially in what has been a truly bizarre and unprecedented past couple of years. I think it's safe to say that this class is unlike any other that has come before us, whether it has been through our experience of going through high school in the midst of a global pandemic or in the unique and talented people that compose our class as a whole. With that being said, we have most definitely made our own distinct mark on this school. And no, I'm not talking about the senior prank, although it was pretty good. Though we are different from previous classes in these ways, we are alike in the way in which we exemplify what it means to be a Banks Brave, which is to demonstrate the qualities of passion, perseverance, respect, and of course, bravery. Our collective brave spirit has led to a plethora of accomplishments in sports teams, robotics, FFA, FAD, the arts, the classroom, and of course, allowing us to be here today. Along our long journey to graduation, we've had support and guidance from a wonderful group of staff and administrators, and I'd like to say we had a pretty cool vice principal too. I want to give a special thank you to Senora Marlia for being such a fun and tolerant Spanish teacher. Gracias, Senor, wherever you are. To Ms. Pallett for somehow putting up with our honors biology class in sophomore year. And to Mr. Victor, who reminded me and some of my fellow classmates that freshmen were meant to be seen, not heard. Without the overwhelming support from all of our teachers and staff, getting to this point would have been undoubtedly much more difficult. I'd also like to thank my family, who have been by my side throughout my entire 13 years going to Banks, though I won't say it was always fun having my dad just a step away from my classroom at all points. Your continued support has allowed me to flourish as I grew into the man I am today. I love you guys. And to my fellow classmates, thank you for making these past 4 years some of the most memorable and fun years of my life. I'm incredibly proud of all of us for the remarkable accomplishments we've had leading up to this special night. So, as we near the end of this chapter of our lives and begin a new one as our paths diverge, I know that we all have what it takes to be successful in whichever direction we choose to take. And I'm excited to see where our lives take us after this time together in our great city of Banks. Congratulations to the class of 2021, and go Braves. At this time, I would like to welcome our next speaker, Joseph Baliga.
Thank you, Cade. I think it's safe to say, after Cade's speech, that the entertainment part for tonight is now over. You now have to listen to me. Good evening, friends, family, teachers, staff, and fellow graduates. I'd first like to say thank you to everyone who made it possible for me to get this far. First and foremost, I have to say thank you to God, because without Him, none of this would be possible. Thank you to my loving parents who were always there for me whenever I needed support. my teachers who gave me A's so I could give this speech, and to all my classmates, teammates, and coaches, thank you. As I was writing this speech, I was trying to fathom how to get my whole school journey summed up for everyone in a short time. I'll try to do my best. If some of you fall asleep, don't worry, I won't be offended. I wouldn't pass up an opportunity for a nap either. It's crazy to think that 4 years of high school are over, and now all of us are moving on with our lives. This school and all that it brought will be missed. This class will be remembered undoubtedly, possibly by its rowdiness and extremely competitive nature, but also by the talented and hardworking individuals that make this class of 2021 the class like no other. Yes, we are a hardworking group, but I know we had our moments. Whether it be butchering Spanish with Marlia, hanging out in Rice's office just to pass time, or being the lucky person who got picked to go act in the front of the class in Mrs. Leswall's class, where you were sure to embarrass yourself. Regardless, I think many of us enjoyed our schooling journey throughout elementary school and all the way until now. On a serious note, we are the next generation to a very lost world. This last year showed many of us not to take the little things for granted. We are the next leaders, so do not be afraid to speak up. This state was victim to many policies put in place by our governor that hurt many students. Our schools should never have shut down during the duration of this virus. The science shows that kids have a 0.03 chance of dying from this. This does not justify closing schools down. During this time, many students failed at a much higher rate, and some even took their life. Our state and local government did the people, students, a great disservice this year by not standing for the students. My hope is that as many of you go out to be adults, that you stand firm in your beliefs and do not let outsiders tell you what to think. Now, you might disagree with everything I just said, and you know what? That's fine. I think that's what allows this country to be so great. Everyone has a right to speak their mind and have their own opinion, even if it is wrong. Do not let the world dictate what your success is. Everyone is talented in their own unique way. As a Christian, it is my duty to tell you that the only way to true happiness in life is through Jesus Christ. You won't find it in anything else. And with all of that, I'd like to say thank you and congratulations to the 100th graduating class, the class of 2021. I will now introduce you to Miss Maggie Clark.
Good evening, family, friends, and most importantly, graduates. I'd like to start by telling you all congratulations for completing this first big step of your life. This is something we have been working towards for our entire life. From here, we finally get the chance to pick our own paths and find where we belong. I wish you guys all the luck in the world as you pursue your future. Having gone to Banks since kindergarten, I have a lot of memories of this class. One of the things I've admired over the years is how friendly people are, regardless of differences. Sure, we all have our own group of friends, but we don't limit our interactions to them. This openness has made us connected as a class, and I think it will serve us all well in the future. The past 4 years have certainly been interesting. This class has made it through a lot, the notable event being this pandemic. Everyone started having senioritis during our early spring break, so I know we all enjoyed the fact that all of our deadlines were basically meaningless. My favorite memory from high school was doing Shakespeare, not only for the betrayals and excessive murders, but watching my classmates act out the scenes. Sitting in the front row, I learned pretty quickly that when a fight scene came up, I'd have to scoot back, otherwise I risked being hit by a plastic sword. It was usually most entertaining to watch the performances rather than read along in the play. Plus, Spark Notes helped the most when trying to figure out what on earth was happening. Finally, I would like to thank those who helped me keep me sane over the last 4 years. My friends who never failed to make me laugh or help me when I got stuck, especially with calculus. Teachers who believed in me, and my family for always making sure I had everything I needed to succeed. Congratulations, class of 2021, and good luck. I would now like to invite Kate Haley up to the stage.
It would start raining again right as I get up here. Graduates, what a year. What a hell of a year. What a hellish year. And we went through so much to get here. My 100th graduating class, remember being the first class ever in the new middle school? We thought we were really cool. We were the class of the amazing substitutes. From Ms. Lawrence, who taught in prison or something, and managed to bring that up in every single lecture, to Ms. Padua, who was like 3'10" in high heels. Yeah, we've been through it to get here. I want to thank every one of my teachers for putting up with my crap for the last 4 years, but Senora and Ms. Pallett in particular. I love you guys. We've had some crazy victories along the way. Let's talk about that Triple Crown. Yeah? And it all came down to this massive anticlimax of a year. To a year chock full of tribulations, from extreme isolation to cancellation of sports and activities to online school. It was so difficult to watch the year that we had all waited our entire lives for slipping away in such an underwhelming and frustrating way. Instant comma for laughing at the class of 2020, I guess. But it hasn't been all bad. For this next part of my speech, I'd like to talk about the positives of last year. And now for the final part of my address. I'm just kidding. Despite the immense hardships we've all experienced this year, there has been light in the darkness. The personal growth that I and so many of us have been able to find has been profound. Left alone with ourselves, we have had to adapt to these adversities, had to change and discover new ways to find joy without the constant distractions of our previous everyday life. One of the greatest blessings for me personally this year has been the ability to spend, at times probably against his will, so much more time with my dad, who's been forced to work at home. Though it has been isolating, the relationships and friendships that have made it through this year have been strengthened and reinforced. I am forever grateful to my parents and my friends for being my strength and my rock over this last year. And although online school has been so trying and so difficult at times, although it has been unfulfilling and hard to learn on our own, so often requiring motivation that none of us had. School starts at 9 now, so. So thank you to the parents out there who had to deal with having us around way more than we were supposed to be. To the teachers who didn't get to have us around enough, or maybe the perfect amount, let's be honest. And congratulations, class of 2021, on making it through a crazy last 4 years. An insane, pandemic-ridden senior year. And thank you all for the wild ride. And now I'd like to introduce valedictorian William Jones.
I suppose with the large number of fellow valedictorians in my class, I should make this introduction short. Hello, I'm William Jones, and I'm here to celebrate the class of 2021. And I must say, it is a very strange year that out of any year, this is the year that was my graduating class. One not only in the midst of a pandemic, but also one celebrating 100 years of Banks High School graduates. I'll be honest, I'm already used to going through strange years. My first year of high school started with me recovering from a back surgery into the back half of the year. Sophomore year was my most normal one, but as you know, junior and senior year were cut off for obvious reasons. Despite this, I pride myself on being able to adapt to the various changes happening around me, even if I was deathly nervous the moments before the first ever psychology AP exam a year ago. I'm also glad for the most part I was able to have fun during this year. I did push my limits many times, such as having the luxury to sleep in to moments before class starts, or having the ability to turn in my assignments a bit late. But I wouldn't say that completely destroyed my work ethic. It was very interesting to see how my teachers adapted to these changes. I'd say out of the teachers I had this year, they did a really good job at creating like a weekly routine, especially during my senior year, instead of, well, the mess that was the end of my junior year. I think this with the schedule is a little bit weird adjusting back to in person, but that's just me. I must thank all my teachers I had for the wonderful classes I had and the memories I made. I'm glad I pushed myself and decided to reach high, such as sticking with writing 121 after Mr. Plowman gave some very scary warnings of what would happen if I were to fail. Also no backing out. However, most of my favorite classes during my 4 years here were topics entirely new to me, such as our wonderful fabrication and design classes with Miss Pasador, film studies with Mr. Tinteri, Spanish with the one and only Senor Marlia, and psychology with Mrs. Lejoie, which I must say was one of the funnest classes I've ever had, despite it being cut off. Despite being unable to do clubs my freshman year, I'm glad I decided to start them in my sophomore year, such as robotics. I was proud of myself, especially considering it was my junior and senior year, that we made it to state both years, which to me was a bit stressful, but it was really wonderful at the same time. Yeah, especially with the senior year, the pandemic definitely threw a wrench in there somewhere. But one thing I feel people don't often address enough is the stories that will be made based on these 4 years of our lives. And how we're able to share them with not only people we knew, but people we are about to meet. In high school, I remember many events and memories that could all be turned into stories. They can be funny, triumphant, sad, ridiculous, frustrating, satisfying, or hopeful. Or I could just be the butt of a joke in one. They can be a mix of said things as well. They can be a mix of said things as well. But I must say they are all important. They're all important, and they have shaped me into the person I am today. For my experiences, I thank my family, Kelly and Stephanie Jones, and my sister Maddie. I thank my grandparents, Mike and Elaine Sawyer, my grandmother, Betty Jones, who sadly cannot see me today, my many aunts, uncles, my cousins, my doctors and surgeons who have saved my life on many of occasions and have allowed me to live a mostly normal life. I thank my counselors who have helped me when I wasn't doing too well, especially with school. But most of all, I thank my friends who have been with me for many years. I personally thank Caleb Rodriguez, Jaden Cabrera, Trenton Parra, Felix Klein, Tristan Saychow, Jack Klingler, Sebastian Lohr, Isaac Turner, and Connor Haas for our many wonderful memories together during these past 4 years. Before I go, I have one last thing I'd like to end on. And I know we could get through the rest of this pandemic together. I know how frustrating it is in your daily life to have major change. I think all people dislike change within their nature to an extent, and I'm no different. And I know this as, for my school career, up for my freshman year, I had to wear a back brace nearly every night. And let me tell you, being a little kid having to wear this uncomfortable back brace nearly every night, well, I really didn't want to wear it. But the important thing is that I did wear it because I knew that was the only thing that was helping me with my scoliosis. But I guess the important lesson today is that I no longer have to wear that uncomfortable brace anymore. So, yeah, life will get better. And with newer sciences and technologies currently being developed, I'm excited to see what the future holds. But until then, I wish each and every one of you guys success in your lives. And with that, I would like to introduce to fellow valedictorian, my good friend, Tristan Saychow. Thank you.
So first off, I would like to start by saying good evening to all the staff and parents who both helped organize and could attend the ceremony tonight. I think I can speak on our class's behalf when I say that each and every one of us appreciates your presence. As well, I'd like to personally thank Mr. Pence and Mr. Buchanan for allowing me the chance to speak at tonight's ceremony. I'm grateful and thrilled to be able to thank the people who have helped me throughout my educational upbringing and share some parting words of wisdom with the 100th graduating class of Banks High School. I'd like to start off by thanking all the teachers who have taught me so much over all my years of school. And when I say all the teachers, I do mean every teacher I've ever had. They've each helped me to grow as a person by educating me, advising me, and most of all, guiding me when I needed it the most. While I may not show it often, or at all really, I do appreciate all the help I've received, and I'm thankful to have been able to meet so many wonderful teachers. I'd also like to give a quick shout out to my friends who've helped make my high school experience fun, memorable, and above all else, bearable. And lastly, I'd like to thank my parents and my Uncle Chai for supporting me throughout my years in elementary, middle, and high school, for motivating me as well as pushing me to work hard and to always strive for better, reminding me that I can achieve my dreams so long as I continue to work hard. To my parents specifically, thank you for allowing me the time and space necessary for me to do exemplary work, and for putting up with me staying up until the early morning hours doing schoolwork. Finally, I wanted to end things off with a quote that I frequently find to be a source of inspiration and one that I wholeheartedly stand by. The following quote is from Steve Jobs' Stanford commencement speech and is as follows. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied with what you do, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know it when you find it. And like any great relationship, it just gets better and better as the years roll on. So keep looking until you find it. Don't settle. With that said, I wish to everyone in the 100th graduating class of Banks High School that you do eventually find what you love doing, and that every one of you find your calling, and that you don't settle for anything less.
Superintendent Leo, Board Member Mr. Frame, at this time, I present to you the class of 2021. Each of these students who are present have met the requirements as outlined by the state of Oregon and have earned the right to receive their Banks High School diploma. Mary Merritt, Senior Class President, will conduct the roll call of graduates this evening. Miss Merritt, will you please join us on the stage?
All right, first off, we have Kate Haley. Kate will be going to Pepperdine University to study pre-med. Kate Haley. Haley Frame. Haley will be going to Oregon State University to study business management. Haley Frame. Naomi Baliga. Naomi will continue working until she decides what she wants to do. Naomi Baliga. Joseph Baliga. Joseph plans to continue working at gyms with possible aspirations to join the political field. Joseph Baliga. Lilia Shuggy. Lilia plans to attend Oregon State University to study forestry. Lilia Shuggy. Lilia Shuggy. John Cost. John will be attending Carnegie Mellon University to study physics. John Cost. Margaret Clark. Margaret will be attending the University of Washington to major in international studies. Margaret Clark. Cameron will be attending Clackamas Community College to play baseball and study forensic fire science. Cameron Louie. Tyler Exline. Tyler will be going to Eastern Oregon University to continue playing football. Tyler Exline. Ramsey Herring. Ramsey will also be playing football for Eastern Oregon University and studying biology. Ramsey Herring. Isaac Turner. Isaac will be attending Pacific University to study physics. Isaac Turner. William Jones. William plans to attend PCC before transferring to a four-year college. William Jones. Tristan Seyfon Seychow. Tristan plans to attend Stanford University to further his education in computer science with the intent of earning a master's degree. Tristan Seyfon Seychow. Gavin Verdon. Gavin will be joining the field of real estate and affiliate marketing. Gavin Verdon. Riley Harbaugh. Riley plans to attend Wisconsin Superior to continue playing baseball and study accounting. Riley Harbaugh. Elliot King. Elliot will be going to trade school to become an electrician. Elliot King. Allison Mewson. Allison plans to go to school to become a math teacher and one day hopes to open her own bakery. Allison Mewson. Rebecca Kimmel. Rebecca plans to attend PCC after high school. Rebecca Kimmel. Sydney Denslinger. Sydney plans to attend community college and travel the world. Sydney Denslinger. Madeline Vandehey. Madeline will be attending Pacific University to major in biology and education. Madeline Vandehey. Hannah Saunders. Hannah plans to attend Eastern Oregon University to major in accounting. Hannah Saunders. Brooke Vandehey. Brooke will be attending Pacific University to major in English and education. Brooke Vandehey. Alex Hernandez. Yeah, Alex. Alex plans to attend PCC after high school. Alex Hernandez. Colby Burning. Colby plans to attend PCC Swan Island Trade Center to become an electrician. Colby Burning. Cade Buchanan. Cade will be going to Oregon State University to study business and finance. Cade Buchanan. Madeline Jacobs. Madeline will be attending Western Oregon University to major in early education. Madeline Jacobs. Aubrey Markham. Aubrey will be attending BYU, Idaho to study family sciences and communication. Aubrey Markham. Preston Perry. Preston will be attending BYU, Idaho to study business management, followed by going on a 2-year mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Preston Perry. Dayanara Maldonado. Dayanara will be taking a year off to decide what she wants to do after high school. Dayanara Maldonado. Piper Ramirez. Piper plans to attend PCC to major in acting. Piper Ramirez. Emily Thompson. Emily will be taking a gap year and finding a place with friends after high school. Emily Thompson. Isai Avendaño Gomez. Isai plans to join an electrician apprenticeship. Isai Avendaño Gomez. Nicholas George. Nicholas will be attending Oregon Institute of Technology for his mechanical engineering degree. Nicholas George. Brandon Van Aken. Brandon plans to continue working at gyms and one day become an electrician. Brandon Van Aken. Felix Klein. Felix plans to attend PCC, then transfer to Oregon State University to study mechanical engineering. Felix Klein. Camilla Narvaez. Camilla will be attending Portland State University to get her prereqs for nursing. Camilla Narvaez. Callie Lanter. Callie will be majoring in aerospace engineering at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Daytona Beach, Florida. Callie Lanter. Abby Cox. Abby plans to attend MA school at the University of Providence. Abby Cox. Journey Kane. Journey will be moving to Florida and joining the police academy. Journey Kane. Grace Herrings. Grace will be attending PCC to study early childhood education and will later be attending trade school. Grace Herrings. Abigail Turner. Abigail will be attending University of Southern Oregon to study psychology. Abigail Turner. Ariel Dudley. Ariel plans to attend Grand Canyon University to study psychology. Ariel Dudley. Carly Berggren. Carly plans to take a gap year, then attend college to become a veterinarian. Carly Berggren. Campbell Hardman. Campbell will be applying for a degree in radiography to become an MRI technician. Campbell Hardman. Haven Staples. Haven plans to go into the trades after high school. Haven Staples. Madison Harper. Madison plans to attend Multnomah University to get her master's in psychology. Madison Harper. Brett Voss. Brett plans to attend Oregon State Cascade. Brett Voss. Isabel Appleby. Isabel plans to attend Avita Institute of Portland to pursue a career in cosmetology. Isabel Appleby. Mackenzie Pittman. Mackenzie plans to attend PCC after high school. Mackenzie Pittman. Betta Minervini. Betta will be attending Pacific University to study pharmacy. Betta Minervini. Gavin Fernandez. Gavin will be joining the Marine Corps after high school. Gavin Fernandez. Andrew Dufer. Andrew plans to attend Oregon State University to major in chemistry. Andrew Dufer. Riley Jordan. Riley will be going to school to major in exercise science to become a physical therapist. Riley Jordan. Madison Shook. Mad Dog. Madison will be attending Western Oregon University to study elementary education. Madison Shook. Lydia McKibben. Lydia will be attending BYU, Idaho to study computer information technology. Lydia McKibben. Zoe Grennan. Zoe is still undecided for what she will do after high school. Zoe Grennan. Mary Jenkins. Mary wants to become a pediatric nurse to help kids after high school. Mary Jenkins. Bonnie Stewart. Bonnie will be attending PCC and then transferring to Portland State University to become a registered nurse and work at Dornbecker. Bonnie Stewart. CJ Humphrey. CJ will be attending Oregon Tech for medical imaging technology. CJ Humphrey. Maisie Phelps. Maisie plans to go to PCC and then wants to transfer to a four-year college and study nursing or emergency medicine. Maisie Phelps. Jack Klingler. Jack is planning to study political science at PCC. Jack Klingler. Trenton Para. Trenton plans to attend PCC after high school. Trenton Para. Sebastian Lohr. Sebastian plans to attend PCC and then possibly seek a degree in engineering. Sebastian Lohr. Jada Vanderzanden. Jada plans to attend PCC to study fire science with the hopes of becoming a fire watch. Jada Vanderzanden. Grace Garcia. Grace will be joining the United States Army after high school. Grace Garcia. Avery Iverson. Avery will be attending Tidewater Community College in Virginia to study psychology and art. Avery Iverson. Kaylin Fitzpatrick. Kaylin will be joining the United States Army as a machinist's mate. Kaylin Fitzpatrick. Caleb Rodriguez. Caleb plans to enter the medical field in neurology. Caleb Rodriguez. Jenna Marie Hiesacker. Jenna Marie plans on attending George Fox University to become a marriage and family therapist. Jenna Marie Hiesacker. Miriam Hett. Miriam will be attending Moody Bible Institute in Chicago to pursue her bachelor's in ministry to victims of sexual exploitation. Miriam Hecht. Suvani Tepoma. Suvani will be joining the United States military. Suvani Tepoma. Jessica Stewart. Jessica will be attending Dean College to play softball and study sports management and pre-law. Jessica Stewart. Justin Spielman. Justin will be entering the workforce after high school. Justin Spielman. Sam Alley. Sam will be entering the workforce after high school. Sam Alley. Jackson Walker. Jackson will be joining the United States Air Force. Jackson Walker. Bay Nierheim. Bay will be joining the workforce after high school. Bay Nierheim. Tyler Smith. Tyler plans to go into the trades after high school. Tyler Smith. Dakota Thompson. Dakota is currently undecided for what he will do after high school, but will accomplish great things. Dakota Thompson. Zachary Stock. Zachary will be joining the United States Army after high school. Zachary Stock. Braden Villerin. Braden will be entering the workforce after high school. Braden Villerin. Lanson Rosa. Lanson plans to move to Colorado for the summer and then plans to continue his education after he returns back to Oregon. Lanson Rosa. Connor Stone. Connor will be attending trade school for heavy machinery operating. Connor Stone. Gavin Seymour. Gavin will be attending trade school for diesel mechanics. Gavin Seymour. Elijah Kimulin Uribe. Elijah plans to attend University of Oregon to study sports business. Elijah Kimolin Uribe. Mario Hernandez Carrillo. Mario plans to join the workforce doing construction with his dad after high school. Mario Hernandez Carrillo. Tanner Moore. Tanner plans to join the workforce after high school. Tanner Moore. Caleb Shea. Caleb plans to attend trade school for pipe fitting. Caleb Shea. Wyatt Edwards. Wyatt will be going to PCC for diesel mechanics. Wyatt Edwards. Trent Schultz. Trent is currently undecided for what he will do after high school.
I'm going to WrestleMania!
Trent Schultz. Donald Cherry. Donald plans to join the workforce as a contractor. Donald Cherry. Jaden Cabrera. Jaden will be looking to get into a trade school or an apprenticeship after high school. Jaden Cabrera. Cade Ambrose. Cade will be going to PCC or joining the National Guard. Cade Ambrose. Michael Metcalf. Michael plans to go into the workforce for construction. Michael Metcalf. Trenton Hamilton. Trenton plans to attend Harvard to be a rocket scientist. Trenton Hamilton.
And your senior class president, Mary Merritt. Mary will be attending BYU, Idaho to study business management and marketing and later to pursue a career in real estate. Mary Merritt. An amazing class, the class of 2021. I have a few announcements here, some thank yous before we move to the final part of the ceremony. First of all, thank you to Dale Verdon, Antonio Rivera, and Jorge for helping set all of this up today. There was a lot of work involved. Without their help, we wouldn't be able to pull this off, so thank you guys. Also, thank you to everyone here. I know this has been a hard year for our students, staff, and you parents. I want to personally thank you for all sharing your children with us and helping each student be here tonight and getting to this point. You've raised some amazing young adults. The Banks High School staff, thank you for your work and efforts in navigating this unprecedented school year and all you do for the students of this community. Thank you to Stuart Monroe for taking photos tonight. The digital photos from tonight we'll make sure to share with all the parents and graduates next week, and there'll be a link available. You can download all that you want. The all-night grad party, a lot of our students are going to take part in that. It will begin at 9 p.m. Please check in at the wrestling building over here, the blue building, by 8:45 for grad night. We have some light refreshments back by the gym. That's provided tonight by Banks High School Parents Association. Thank you to all the Banks High School Parents Association and volunteers for all their hard work over the past 4 years. Thank you, Isaac Turner and Caleb Rodriguez, for completing the senior slideshow this year. There will be a link emailed to all the students and parents to be able to view the slideshow. Please allow the students and staff to exit tonight. They're going to head out the opposite direction, and a tradition here at Banks, they're going to ring the original school bell over here in the bathroom plaza on their way out to signify the end of their school career. And now, would the class of 2021 please rise? At this time, please move your tassels from right to left. Congratulations to the class of 2021. You are officially high school graduates.